We request you to give direction for the implementation of the Presidential Working Party report as regards the strengthening of NACONEC. NACONEC is one organization that has really made a transformation, serious transformation in the access to education of our people, because these pastoralists, when they move around all over and the children are there, they're being fed, then they will be there. But if they have nothing to feed on, then they have a problem. Your Excellency, the final issue is we have a problem of drugs in our region. This region is getting flooded with the drugs from Ethiopia and from Somalia. And they're coming in lorries, truckloads. Please direct your county commissioners and your county commandants to seal our borders to make sure this does not happen. Today, there are more than 10,000 illegal immigrants in Wajir here. And that business is very, very thriving. You know, once drugs come into place, then you create instant billionaires. Those instant billionaires now push back the law and order system.
President Ruto is not a transient president. He has been elected by the people of Kenya. There are those who are yapping around to say this, Mr. President, you are the fourth president I'm working with as a member of parliament. And therefore, I can discern, appreciate, and look at the magnitude of the policy decisions that you want to make. We want to thank you. Don't be afraid. What has lagged this country behind over the last 60 years? In 1968, we were at par with South Korea. In 1968, we were at par with Indonesia. It's because people fear to make decisions. Make those decisions in 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Kenyans will appreciate. And those who are running around saying today Ruto must go, will say Ruto must be around. And that is where we're heading. Mheshimiwa Rais, there are 15 governors, 14 governors, 14 senators, 14 county MPs, 109 MPs. Tunaambiwa SHA is not working. We are persuaded SHA is not working. Can we do it in all our constituencies and prove to the doubting Thomases that SHA is going to work and is going to be beneficial to the pastoralist communities who have been neglected?
Your Excellency, there's a presentation that was made by your economic advisor, Dr. David Ndi, here yesterday. And he compared a pastoralist county, Marsabit, and a non-pastoralist county, I think it was the county of Kirinyaga. And he proved to us that in terms of potential, in terms of the potential to contribute to the economy, Marsabit is way ahead. And he had the facts and figures. Your Excellency, we've also, on many occasions in the last 3 days, mentioned the sessional paper number 10 of 1965, which sessional paper categorized Kenya into the Kenya with potential and the Kenya without potential. And we were erroneously, I would say, classified as the Kenya without potential. But now the realities of today is making all of us realize that the only potential remaining is in the Kenya that was deemed not to have potential. We have virgin land, which is rich. The soils are arable. Increasingly, our water situation is improving. Your Excellency, in many forums I've said, in the Kenya where there is water, there is no land left, so we must take water to the Kenya that has land, so that we can feed ourselves as a country. On the specific interventions that we discussed with you, and as far as this particular county of Wajir is concerned, I was a witness to all the calls you made, all the instructions you gave on the issue of Wajir water and sewerage. on the issue of dealing with the challenges that we have with electricity here and the attempts to link us to the national grid, the instructions that you gave on the fast-tracking and unclogging of the bottlenecks with respect to the Isiolo-Mandera Road, and in particular with the annuity program, on the instructions that you gave on the Bute Dam, and the numerous other requests that were made by the leadership of Wajir County. And we thank you for giving us time to discuss our problems as a county with you the moment you landed. We don't take it for granted, and we thank you for those interventions.
Your Excellency, the Ministry of East Africa Community, ASAL and Regional Development is mandated to coordinate the ASAL and river-based development for sustainable livelihoods. To realize this noble goal, the ministry, in collaboration with development partners, has designed and implemented programs and projects aimed at elevating vulnerability of the ASAL communities. In recent past, we have achieved key milestones, which include, Your Excellency, to strengthen the resilience of community through community-based micro and high-impact resilience and drought preparedness projects. We've also provided relief and humanitarian assistance to vulnerable households. We have also rehabilitated rangeland through the planting and the further development, and finally developed the early warning information, among other initiatives. To promote livestock development, Your Excellency, and the value addition of resource within the ASAL, the ministry is in the process of establishing 450 feedlots in 30 counties, of which 15 governors, so in brackets counties, have already availed 5-acre land for such activity. And we really commend those ones that have already offered land to progress and engage on the next move. So it is a milestone on our side, and the governors as well.
Let me read on behalf of my party leader. It is an honor and privilege to represent our party leader today, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, at this important summit. On behalf of our party leader and the Orange Democratic Movement, I bring you warm greetings and best wishes for a fruitful and impactful deliberation. ODM, under the leadership of Raila Amolo Odinga, has always stood and will continue to stand with pastoralists and other marginalized communities in Kenya. Our commitment in advancing your interest is not just a political stance. It is built upon a firm belief and commitment to social justice, shared prosperity, and inclusive development. History reminds us that the marginalization of pastoralist communities in Kenya was instituted by colonial economic policies which prioritized production for Europe's consumption. Colonial authorities disregarded the unique contributions and needs of regions inhabited by pastoralist communities, treating them as second-class citizens. It is a shame that 6 decades after independence, this systemic neglect persists in many ways. Post-independence Kenya inherited and reinforced discriminatory policies that concentrated development and investment along the Kenya-Uganda Railway, leaving vast swaths of our nation undeveloped. This historical injustice was not merely accidental, it was deliberate, and its effects continue to hinder progress among pastoralist communities even to this very day. It is for this reason, ladies and gentlemen, that ODM stood in solidarity with marginalized communities and fought to ensure the establishment of the Equalization Fund in our Constitution. This fund was designed to address historical imbalances by channeling resources to regions that had been left behind. However, we must candidly acknowledge that the implementation of this fund has been delayed and frustrated, denying deserving communities the development they greatly and urgently need. As a party, we shall not tire of fighting for equality and inclusion in economic interventions, political representation, and public employment. Our vision for Kenya is one where no community is left behind, where every citizen has a fair shot at prosperity, regardless of where they reside or come from. Our party leader, His Excellency Raila Amolo Odinga, has consistently and untiringly championed the cause of devolution. He has emphasized that devolution must be made to work, not just in principle, but in practice. Despite challenges, frustrations, and even outright sabotage, the establishment of county government has brought progress to pastoralist communities that was previously unimaginable. We salute the strides you have made in advancing local governance, education, and healthcare within your counties. Another significant challenge facing pastoralist communities is the impact of climate change. While all Kenyans are affected by this global crisis in one way or another, it is a fact that pastoralist communities bear an inordinate burden. Droughts, dwindling water resources, and shrinking grazing lands have pushed these communities to the brink. Addressing these impacts requires special attention from the national government and development partners who are here today, and I thank the government, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, for paying special attention to this region. This is a crisis that cannot be ignored, and ODM will continue to champion your cause to ensure that solutions are not only found, but implemented. ODM has stood with you in the past and will continue to walk the journey with you. Together, we shall push for policies and programs that bring lasting development and dignity to pastoralist communities. Together, we shall fight for a Kenya where every citizen feels included and valued. As we continue our deliberations today, let us be guided by a shared vision of unity, equity, and progress. Let us reaffirm our commitment to ensuring that Kenya becomes a nation where no one is left behind. We thank you, and may our collective efforts bear fruit for the benefit of our communities and future generations. Asanteni sana.